channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryan, and in today's video, we will be discussing the fall of Robert Kardashian. The timing of when this video was on my content calendar is kind of a really bad timing, mainly because there's some news that Rob Kardashian allegedly OD'd recently. We don't know if those allegations are true or not, but people are believing that the Kardashians are trying to cover that up. This video is by no means bashing Rob. I actually am team Rob all the time, so let's please make that clear. And if this did happen to Rob, which we will discuss later on in the video, please keep him and the Kardashian family in your prayers. I also will be leaving some links down below if you or someone else is struggling with mental health or addiction. And without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. Robert Kardashian Jr. was born March 17th, 1987 to parents Kris Jenner and Robert Kardashian Sr. Rob was born to 3 older sisters, so he was the first boy. His sisters were Kourtney Kardashian, Kimberly Kardashian, and Khloe Kardashian. When Rob was on the Keeping Up with Kardashian series, he was known to be the funny sibling, very realistic, and down to earth. Rob was present in the very first seasons of Keeping Up with Kardashians on E! Network, but over the years he was seen less and less until he wasn't seen at all. Amidst the time between him being on the series and exiting the series, Rob has been in multiple relationships. He's launched some businesses, had some businesses fail. He gained weight, got engaged, became a father, fell into depression, and now has allegedly OD'd. That's a lot for just one person. So the question is, how did he get here? Or should I say, why did Rob get to this point? So let's start off with number 1, Rob's careers and his businesses. Rob was most notably known as the Kardashian sibling that didn't really have much going on. At the beginning of the Keeping Up with Kardashian series, Rob's sister, Kim Kardashian, was already on the rise to fame. I mean, they got the series because of Kim, so she already was the main it girl at the time, and kind of still today. Then you had his older sister Khloe, who was widely known for her hilarious personality and her being very relatable to the women in the real world. And then of course his eldest sister Kourtney Kardashian, who was mainly known for her toxic relationship with Scott Disick, but it was a very prevalent and popular storyline on the series. Now Rob did go to college and he actually graduated. He went to the University of Southern California and he graduated with a business degree in 2009. He and his eldest sister Kourtney Kardashian are the only 2 siblings to have gotten a degree. So though Rob did go to college, he did not initially do anything with his degree, and that can be presumably because he was on a hit reality TV series where we can guess he probably was making a lot of money. And if it wasn't because of that, he did come from a wealthy family, or a very blessed family, should I say. So he didn't necessarily have to work, and after 4 years of college, who are we to judge on anyone that just wants to be young and have fun? Like, I'm all for it. College can put you through the ringer for being for real. So though Rob did not go into a typical 9-to-5 career, he did have a few appearances on some TV series. He was on season 13 of Dancing with the Stars in 2011, where he placed 2nd, which is quite amazing. He also won Most Improved Dancer on that season. In 2012, he was on a Fox dating series called The Choice, and he also was one of the final judges for Miss USA 2012. Aside from his TV spotlight, he also worked with a few business ventures such as Perfect Skin and Rival Spot. Then finally, Rob launched his sock line called Arthur George in 2012 as well. The company was named after his father's middle name, who he shares with his father as well, Arthur George, in memory of him. Initially, the sock line did gain some notoriety. It was in his sister's clothing store Dash, as well as really big department stores such as Nordstrom. Unfortunately, in November 2018, Rob was forced to sell over 50% of the company to his mother, Kris Jenner. According to some court documents, Kris did invest some money into the sock line to prevent it from failing. And I guess it worked out because Arthur George is still alive and well today. After this unfortunate circumstance happened of Rob having to sell his sock line, well, 50% of it, he then launched his other business in 2019 called Halfway Dead. Now, this business venture was a streetwear clothing line that featured tees, hoodies, jackets, hats, sweatshirts, pants, basically anything streetwear related. And honestly, the business seems to still be doing pretty well. He posts about it, people are wearing the clothes, so I guess it was pretty successful for him. Fast forward a year later, in October 2020, Rob announced that he'd be launching a hot sauce line, which I had never heard of until I researched for this video. So the hot sauce is called Grandiza Hot Sauce, and he recently posted that it could be seen in 7-Eleven. I haven't heard reviews about it, but I hope it's good. Actually, let's look it up right now. Let me see what Grandiza Hot Sauce is really like. Is it worth it? Is it worth the hype? Let's see. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of reviews on his hot sauce, and honestly, the website is not the best website, if I'm being frank, especially from someone that comes from such a high-profile family. It feels like my friend made this website to start selling something small, and he doesn't have reviews listed on the website either. But for 6 packs of hot sauce, it's $35, so I think that's pretty fair. And for a 2-pack, it's $11.99, so they go for about $6. I think that's a fair price, so okay, Rob. Oh, he also sells apparel for the hot sauce line as well. He sells some hoodies I see on here. I think it's just hoodies. Oh, hoodies and t-shirts. And a crew neck sweatshirt. So those are all of Rob's business ventures. And I hope that kind of debunks that he's not doing anything. I'm not sure how much of a hand Chris had in him having these businesses, but he does have them, and he seems to be liking them, and they're doing pretty well. They're probably not doing as well as Skims is, but they seem to be doing a pretty okay job in terms of the fact that they're still launched and the websites are alive and well, and they're still posting on social media. So now we're gonna get into Rob's very lucrative dating life. We're gonna run down Rob's notable girlfriends until the final one, who we all know, what we should know, is Blac Chyna. Rob first came on to the Keeping Up with Kardashian series in a relationship with Adrienne Bailon. If you don't know who she is a host on The Real that has since been canceled, but she also was a member of the Cheetah Girls. So we were actually able to see Rob and Adrienne's relationship on this series. You can see her hanging out with the Kardashian family, her and Rob moving in together, her leaving to go film for the Cheetah Girls, and Rob breaking down in tears. They seem like a very tight couple.
When I first met Adrienne, I was so in love with her.
Let's make them all go in.
Let's go. I'm trying to find someone who's your best friend and who makes you happy and who you can talk to all the time, and that's Adrienne. This is my first time I've been in love. I'm starting to act as I was before my dad passed away. I definitely feel that my dad brought us together. I tell Adrienne that all the time.
However, unfortunately, the couple did break up in 2009, and at the time we did not know why they broke up, but Adrienne did announce later on, about a decade later on the show The Real, saying that they broke up due to infidelity. And the infidelity was done on Rob's part. Adrienne says that she does not hold a grudge towards Rob because of that. She says that they were young, and honestly, she understands that, but it did really break her in her future relationships. But Adrienne has several photos around the Kardashian family, so I highly doubt she's that upset. A lot of people believe that Adrienne was in fact Rob's soulmate, and if he didn't cheat, they'd still be together today. Who knows? I mean, Adrienne is in a happy marriage, and she just had a little boy through surrogacy. I'm so happy for her. She's been struggling to be a mom for so long. And Rob has a 6-year-old daughter, who we'll get into a little bit later. So after Adrienne and Rob split up, he did briefly date Angela Simmons, who I did not know. That was actually shocking to me. He dated Angela Simmons in 2010 very briefly, and then he went on to start dating Rita Ora. This was the breaking point for Rob, allegedly. So Rob and Rita were in a relationship for only 2 months in 2012. Though their relationship was short-lived, Rob accused Rita of cheating on him, and that was the reason for their breakup. And we found out all this information against our will due to a Twitter rant that Rob did on social media. Well, on Twitter, obviously. In this Twitter rant, Rob said this: "I wonder how many she'll sleep with now that we apart. How can a woman who is so busy trying to start her own career have time to be with so many dudes all while in a relationship?" And Rob alleged that Rita cheated on him with nearly 20 different men. Rita responded by saying she did not know the relationship was that serious and that she believed they were just having fun. Ouch, can I say? Especially to a man's ego. Fans speculate that this really embarrassed Rob and caused him to spiral, because this was around the time Rob started gaining a lot of weight and started being in the spotlight a lot less. So as I stated previously, Rob was in the spotlight a lot less. He was keeping a very low profile until 2016, when a picture of him and Blac Chyna was posted, and there were rumors swirling that they were dating. So Rob and Chyna moved fairly quickly, like really fast. So within the window of January and March, they broke up, but then they got back together, and then they announced their pregnancy and engagement in May of 2016. They welcomed their daughter Dream Kardashian in November 2016, and they even had a series together on the E! Network. The reality series was called Rob in China, and it documented them preparing for their new daughter and their tumultuous relationship filled of yelling, arguing, and just overall toxicity. The show only had one season, and then the couple ultimately broke up in 2017 for good. Now, y'all, things were not just a smooth breakup. There was a lot of drama that happened along with that breakup. In July 2017, Rob posted a series of explicit photos of Blac Chyna on his Instagram. He accused her of cheating on him, doing drugs, not taking care of their daughter Dream, and in response, Blac Chyna came with a fire on Snapchat accusing Rob of physically abusing her. Rob was then banned from Instagram due to using revenge porn. Later that year, Blac Chyna filed a defamation lawsuit against the Kardashian family, particularly Khloe Kardashian, Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner. In that defamation lawsuit, Blac Chyna accused the Kardashian family of convincing the E! Network to not continue with Rob in China. Unfortunately, Blac Chyna did lose that lawsuit in May 2022, so this past year. The jury was Team Kardashian, and Blac Chyna did not receive any form of compensation for her allegations. Blac Chyna also sued Rob for allegedly posting the revenge porn after their split, and they did reach a settlement in June of 2022. So I'm sure there was some form of compensation in that agreement. When I say the ghetto, literally, oh my God, that was a lot. So after all the drama with Blac Chyna and Rob decided to really set back when it comes to the spotlight, and he was really focusing on raising his daughter Dream and decided to focus more on health and wellness. So now let's get into Rob's rapid weight gain. So I already told you guys that Rob gained weight around 2011 to 2012. That's when it started. And this was around the time that him and Rita Ora broke up. A lot of people question, why did Rob gain so much weight and what was the cause of this? And this led his sister Kim Kardashian to be asked this in an interview with the Today Show. So in 2015, when Kim was asked the question in an interview why her brother gained so much weight, she said this in quote, "I think he's just going through a phase where he's not comfortable in his own skin. He is working really hard to get back to where he really wants to be." Kim also said in this interview that she doesn't necessarily believe that his weight gain is due to the fame and publicity. She believes that it's tied to more of the circumstances within his life in terms of the loss of his father, Khloe's breakup with Lamar Odom. If you guys don't remember in Khloe and Lamar, the show that they had together, Rob was living with Khloe at one point and him and Lamar were super close. So apparently he did not do well when Khloe and Lamar broke up due to them being so close. In that same year that Kim did this interview, Rob was later hospitalized in December 2015, and this was due to him being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. A year later in 2016, which was the year his daughter Dream was born and the start of his relationship with Blac Chyna, he was hospitalized once again for another diabetes-related incident. So how the heck did Rob get here? That is the main question. A lot of people feel that Rob was never supported by his family due to him being a boy. And that might sound crazy, but if you really look at it, the Kardashians that are heavily successful are all of the girls. And even if you look at the Kardashian kids, the kids that are plastered all the time, Stormi, North, Chicago, all of the kids, they're all the girl kids. We don't really see the boys as much. So a lot of people believe there's allegations that the Kardashians are witches and only the women are able to get fame and only the women matter. Though I don't necessarily believe that the Kardashians are witches, they don't really support the males in their family even when they're crying for help. And I don't know if this is true or not. This is just from what I see because we all know we only see a very small inkling of their lives. But if you look at how Rob has gained weight, how he's not as successful as his siblings, we can all yell and say, oh, Rob is lazy, he's this, he's that. But it can really tie into the fact that he's not supported. Throughout the Keeping Up with Kardashian series, Rob repeatedly states that he feels like he's the black sheep of the family and he's always reaching out for help, and every time he basically is crying out for help, he's shut down by his family members.
My whole thing is my anger, a lot of it stems from like the working environment because they all kind of put this cloud on me like I'm a loser.
What do you say when people do that?
I mean, I don't say anything because I don't believe it.
But then you blow up later.
But then you
No, I blow up later because when there's a business opportunity, all my mom obviously cares about is the 3 girls. And whenever I say, I want to open up a men's store.
But mom never helped us with that.
Anyways, she's my mother. And
okay, hang on for a second. Okay, guys, hang on for a second. First of all, what are you feeling in this moment?
like they don't understand.
Misunderstood. And how does that feel to you?
It's frustrating.
You look sad. Am I misreading you? I want everybody quiet but Rob right now. Robert, don't leave.
Please don't leave, Rob.
Please don't leave. Stay and talk about this. Things don't get better when you walk out.
His sisters and mom constantly poked fun at him, and fans believe this was the start of Rob's weight gain and loss of confidence and self-esteem. If you look at the older episodes, Kim kind of poked and prodded at Rob the most compared to the other siblings. Kourtney was mostly quiet whenever Rob is getting picked on, and Khloe was his biggest cheerleader and supporter. But Kim really nitpicked at Rob and constantly called him lazy, fat, and any name you can name in the book. Kim just is overall incredibly callous towards her brother, and though she does make posts of him on social media whenever his birthday comes around and says how much she loves her brother, on camera don't lie, and it shows that she really didn't support it. It could have been just sibling banters. We all know siblings argue. We've seen all the Kardashian sisters argue as well, but it does seem as if Rob got the end of the stick all the time. At the same time, I don't want to say that he wasn't necessarily supported, because Rob has lived with a lot of his siblings. His mom has kind of handheld him a lot of the time, and maybe it's because he's the only boy. But I think instead of like hand-holding him, it didn't necessarily benefit him because he wasn't able to grow. I do think it's okay to support your siblings. Like I said, I always am all for supporting your siblings and making them not feel worthless. But we have to put our big girl panties on in order to grow and become the best versions of ourselves, which I think they did not allow Rob to do fully. So now let's get into this alleged OD that Rob had just a week ago. A source alleged that Rob overdosed and was sent to a hospital on December 27, 2022. So this was on a gossip account, and this gossip account alleged that Rob was brought to the hospital at 3 a.m. and he arrived unconscious with a pale face and blue lips. So this report that has not been verified as true or not, probably due to HIPAA guidelines if we're being honest. The report claimed that Rob overdosed on alcohol and oxy with traces of fentanyl found in his blood. So the source also alleged that after Rob regained his consciousness, he immediately started attacking Blac Chyna and saying that she ruined his life. He allegedly didn't want to go to rehab after this incident happened because he didn't want to be kept away from his daughter, and that he wants to die and celebrity life isn't for him. Everything that was said, if it is true, is incredibly heartbreaking to hear from Rob. So within this report, it says that Rob ordered the 3 security guards that were keeping watch over him to call his mother Kris, and approximately 45 minutes later, his sister Khloe Kardashian and his mother Kris Jenner showed up at the hospital. So it's also reported that Kris called the hospital and directed that no information be leaked to the press, and this was despite paparazzi already being on the scene. So I don't know if she paid someone off, if she made some threats, I'm not sure, but she said absolutely no press, no publicity. It did get out some way somehow because this is all over TikTok now, but she did make some type of means to make sure this was not released information, which I honestly do respect, because I don't want anybody recording my family member at the lowest point in their life, because we all go through stuff. Like literally everybody has gone through some really dark, deep things, and we don't need cameras in our faces or people outside of our family knowing our business unless you want to share this business after you healed, or even if you're still in the healing process. It's up to you to share that information, not for someone to take it and then just plaster it on social media. That's wrong. So Rob was allegedly released from the hospital on December 30th or December 31st. So when these rumors started spiraling, fans started snooping and trying to see if Rob really was at the hospital or not. A lot of fans noticed that the Kardashians started posting about their brother a lot more than they have in years. To fans, it seemed as if the Kardashians were trying to cover up something. And honestly, like, that's their business if they were trying to cover it up, because it really is none of our business whether or not he OD'd until Rob is ready to share that information or the family is ready to share that information. But fans immediately noticed that Kim Kardashian posted on her Instagram story Rob's clothing line, Halfway Dead. And in the background, you can hear Rob's voice. But a lot of people believe that Kim edited in Rob's voice to make it appear as if he was there in the room to stop the rumors from circling.
Rick and Morty, by the way, is
Christmas is still happening. Look at Rob brought over all of these.
Rick and Morty.
Halfway Dead Rick and Morty collab.
Let's go, Rob Bear. Rick and Morty with the Halfway Dead.
And as I stated prior, Kris Jenner was posting overly about Rob. Kim was. Rob's Instagram account that's not even run by Rob anymore, it's run by Kris Jenner. That account also posted some content for Rob's clothing brand. So people are just really trying to see if Rob did or did not OD, though it's none of our business, but that's what people are trying to figure out and become detectives about. So that's where Rob is currently in life as of now. If he is allegedly in the hospital due to ODing, I really truly hope he gets the help that he needs. Hollywood is a very ugly place, especially if you're not one person that wants to be in Hollywood, but his family is constantly in the Hollywood spectrum. I've heard too many horror stories, seen so many celebrities decide not to be on this earth anymore due to the implications that comes with being a Hollywood superstar. Rob seemed to be really on a good path, and I truly do hope he is getting support from his family if he wasn't before. It's so sad to see such a beautiful, handsome young man get to the point where he is now, but he has raised a beautiful daughter. From what I see on social media, Dream seems to be a very happy kid. She's constantly with Khloe Kardashian, all the time having sleepovers with Khloe's daughter True. But guys, that is the end of this video on the fall of Rob Kardashian. I truthfully hope that Rob bounces back and becomes some mogul, or even if he's not in the spotlight, like just becomes very successful, though I'm sure he is. He's making a lot more money than the average person is, but just becomes a star in his own life. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please share your thoughts down below in the comments, but always be respectful. This is still somebody that lives and they're still here, whether or not you think that they're just a story. These are real people. I love and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own it. Read your aura.